home invasion, roach infestation, struggling marriage, diabetes, cancer, ruptured Achilles tendon, fired from work, car broke down, tears, prayers, school, paternity test, depression. I'm a poet, rapper, content creator, 1/4 of Everything But the Kitchen Sink. So co-host, radio co-host. P.O.E.M stands for Prisoner of Every Moment, and it's based off the last year of my life, more specifically a lot of the bad things that seem to snowball into where I am now. It's about me dealing with depression. It's about me facing the adversities that are in my life and trying to become triumphant in spite of those. 2017, I had the last quarter, I guess, of 2016. I was in a bad car accident September 1st, 2016, and my car got flipped over, car was totaled out, I had a concussion. I had to go through months and months of physical therapy, memory and speech therapy. I had to go through psychological therapy, and I had just pretty much wrapped that up in December of 2016. And so 2017, I was basically coming off of those things, and I was really ready to, jump all the way into my career as a rapper and poet, or just as an entertainer in general. So I went through the process of creating a short film called Sounds Like a Mixtape, which was a short film with 3 different videos, kind of like Lemonade style, but as an independent artist it was a lot different. So I had the music done already, and I got with the film crew, and we created what I feel like was a really, really great film. So that was going down. So like the beginning of 2017 kind of started off pretty good, but there was a rift that it sort of caused. It didn't really cause it, but it was like it made a situation that wasn't that great in the first place kind of even worse. My marriage, which was already kind of on the rocks, kind of like it was one of those things that we argued about was money, and I spent money on doing it, and it was a miscommunication involved, and like it really put myself and my wife on very bad terms, and ultimately it's part of the reason we still are on bad terms. And it was just one thing that like I've been trying to resolve, if not get better. But it was one of those things like where like, yeah, it's a problem, but it was like one of those things that I felt like I had to do as an artist, to take some chances, risk things, jump out all the way in 2 feet in. So it was to me it was worth it. And yeah, that's where like kind of like 2017 kind of started off for me. And then like March 14th is our anniversary. So since with us not being on good terms, the video had just came out, and I was really proud of it. I don't know how she felt about it, but I don't think she was happy because I spent money on it or whatever, and it led to what turned out to be like one of the worst dates of my entire life. And things just gradually kind of went even farther south, so to speak, from then. And on top of all of that, I was already years ago diagnosed with depression. I had in the past attempted to commit suicide a couple of different times, and this was another really, really challenging situation.
If you only knew the half, you'd ask how I remained whole. I was accused of household treason in 2017 and was sentenced to lose part of my soul. In the midst of the silence, I spoke freely in search of answers. In some instances, more questions. I talked to God. I talked to family. I even talked to my friends. I even talked to me. I played devil's advocate, tried to remain pacifist, worked with rules of numbers and laws of averages. I felt more often than not, it wasn't all emotional. I physically felt like I got shot. I was even asked if I heard a pop in my leg as I dropped. I went through things last year I wouldn't want my enemies to envision. The best part about last year is that it's over and I'm still living. Therefore, I no longer want to speak of this year and its existence.
Everything that I've gone through, everything I'm going through, is preparing me for the dreams I want to live. I have a unique way of seeing sights, aspirations of these views at different heights. If I am always doing what I love for a living, I am always living love. It isn't their job to give up on me, but it is my obligation. Poetry started out for me as originally it was literally a way to talk to women. Like it was a way, not the women then, it was girls. Like I wasn't like a smooth talker or a ladies man, but when I put my mind to it and I felt like I could really create imagery that made my feelings get across like much better through poetry. And so originally it started out just like that, but then once I was diagnosed with depression, my parents were going through the divorce process, and I had tons and tons of emotions and different things that I was dealing with. I believe it was around the time I was 14 or 15 years old, and like a lot of that stuff I got out in poetry, whether I was willing to share it or if it was just something I wanted to write down. So it started out as something really materialistic and with my own, agendas, but it came, it got to the point where it was like something I had to do. This year, man, like that was just the beginning of the year. Like this year included so many things that were just really, my marriage was like one of the top things, but it was by far not the only thing. And I mean, like literally, it was one thing after the other. Like when they say, oh, it rains and pours, it's not even, I can attest to it because it felt like it was pouring constantly sometimes. Like I said before, I started school, broadcasting school, as, I had a love for it. I have been on the radio a few times, and I really felt like it didn't feel like work. It felt like I was having fun, but it was still a job. So I looked into it, started school, and I hope I'm staying on subject. But yeah, I started school, and like stuff was happening right back to back to back to back. Like there's just so many different things. I'll probably even forget some of the things that happened to mention them. But my house got broken into. I already talked to you about the marriage. Being sick, I had the flu at the beginning of 2018. At the end of 2017, 2018, I had the flu for a couple weeks. It took me down, like big time stuff. People being diagnosed with cancer, reoccurring cancer in the family. It was just a lot to take on. Most recently, lost my job. My car's in the shop. It's like gonna cost like $2,000 to get it out. I don't have it right now. I'm still figuring all of that out. Just so much. I ruptured my Achilles tendon just before I started back in school. I originally started in May, and my financial aid wasn't far enough along. Not financial aid. I'm sorry. What's the word I'm looking for? My deferment, it wasn't out of deferment yet as far as my loans weren't out of deferment. So I had to stop, restarted in June, or July I should say. I think it was July, yeah it was July, but in June, in between that time, I ruptured my Achilles tendon, had had surgery. I got back to school. I was in a walking boot. It was crazy. It was so much stuff over a short period of time. Like even more recently, I'm almost done with school, and about a week and a half ago, my daughter was diagnosed with diabetes. She's 10 years old, and you know, at the exact same time, the day after, I was right back in emergency with my son. He had the flu. So literally, it was so much stuff that if I didn't go through it, I wouldn't even be able to make it up. Like if I wrote a book on the things that happened, and I didn't like make it a biography, it would literally, people would be like, if I just had it based off true events, people wouldn't believe it, because it was just so much stuff for one person and one family to go through at the same time. And it was just like, not to say that I haven't the worst, but it is just a lot. It was like, I can honestly see how someone could give up. And the crazy part is that not only did I not give up, but I just, you know, I got signs that I'm doing way better than I thought I was doing. So that's part of the reason I had to tell this story, like, so to speak. It just had to be told. Well, like I said, you know, even though no matter how bad you think you're doing and how much stuff you're going through, as long as you keep trying, people will recognize the adversities that you're going through and that you're still showing up to do a good job. And, you know, they got this thing called core value awards. And I literally got a core value award every single time that there was an opportunity in the 8 months that I was in the program. And the first time I got it, it was kind of like, I sort of couldn't believe it. I mean, I could believe it, but I couldn't believe it. And at the same time, I still had perfect attendance, which was even more of a challenge to get here every day. Because I had plenty of reasons why I could have just said, I don't think I can make it today. So I got those, and I was just kind of like, it was like confirmation of this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, you know, it kind of kept me going. But at the same time, it was difficult because this was another thing that my wife and I hadn't like really agreed on, and this was another thing. You know, I'm jumping out the window with this again, taking another chance, another risk, and you know, I don't know how it's gonna end up. But what I did know is at that point, this is where I was supposed to be, and at a certain point, that's another thing that kind of gave me the wherewithal to just be like, you know what, like bad stuff might just keep happening, and I didn't want to be right about that, but I was right. Like so much bad stuff happened, things that you just kind of had to put a positive spin on, no matter what. And you know, at a certain point, I just said, look, I'm just going to embrace the moment, because tough times don't last, tough people do. And you know, it's not going to be great forever, and it's not going to be bad forever. So no matter what, I had to get through. It's people depending on me, it's people looking up to me, it's people that I had no idea were being inspired by me. And you know, they would come up to me once I got a core value award, or once I got student of the month. You know, they would say, good job, keep it going. Or they would come to me for advice, and sometimes I didn't even have anything to offer them as far as the technical aspects of different things, but I understood that this is what, you know, it is. Like, I had no idea it would be this difficult. I knew it was going to be hard, but I had no idea that on top of everything I had already been through, that there would be so much more in such a short amount of time. The vision for the future is to give people the reality that not only is depression something that can be dealt with, but it is something that can be, you can thrive through it. Like you don't have to just manage depression. There are different ways, and there are different examples of people who have fought through it, and they are doing great. And I want to be one of those success stories. I also want to let people know that you need to talk to someone. You may think that you can figure it all out on your own, but believe me, I talk to multiple people. I have friends that I've made. I have um, family members that I've reached out to and told them different aspects of my story, and it's not oh woe is me type of thing, but literally I needed somebody to bounce my situation off of, just to make sure that, you know, I'm doing everything that I can do to make my situation better. And you know, that's really what it's about. It's not. A long time ago, I was attempting suicide, and it was really a thing where I wanted to disappear because I felt like things had gotten so bad, and I didn't feel like I had hope. And I don't ever want anybody ever to feel like that, because you know, there's countless examples of it not being too late to change everything. So if any advice that I could give to someone is, it is not a negative thing, you letting people in on what you're going through and what you're feeling. I know that you need to talk to people that you can trust, but suicide isn't the answer. Feeling bad for yourself is not the answer. Giving up is definitely not the answer. Like, you have to find a way. And that's really what this is about, is finding a way.